Hello there. Good evening, everybody, in the free credit repair advice group. My name is Jeremy Dysock, and I am a FICO certified credit coach. I'm with Credit Life Financial Wellness, and I'm the founder of the free credit repair advice group. Welcome to our Facebook Live, the Daily Credit Report. We do this every night, every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time right here in the free credit repair advice group. We've got different coaches each and every night. And if you want to join Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, that's my night. You can watch me, FICO certified credit coach Jeremy Dysock, with my live. So I'm going to get the room kind of going here, just get things fired up and give it a chance to fill up a little bit. We're going to pin this up to the top so people are able to find the live. Perfect. Perfect. Excellent. All right, so a couple quick things while the room's filling up. Tonight, we're going to be having a live question and answer period about your credit questions. Basically, any questions you've got about your credit repair, credit restoration, balance to limit ratio utilization on cards, what are the best accounts to open, what are the best ways to manage things, settlement, any of that. Go ahead and put your question into the comments section of the group, and we will get to it and answer that live for you here in the free credit repair advice group on Daily Credit Report. Now, if you are looking for professional help, if you're looking to have your own credit coach, you can actually book a consultation directly with me by going to www.bookcoachjd.com. Bookcoachjd.com, or just click on the link in the description section of the video. And what you can do is you can pick a day, an evening, even a Saturday morning on my calendar for a consultation. And what we'll do during your initial consultation is we'll talk about your goals. That's crucially important. Without knowing what your goals are, it's hard to direct you there. We'll talk about what's on your credit. We'll put together a real plan, steps, and figure out what services are appropriate for you to get your score and profile in position for those goals. So if you would like to schedule a consultation, just go to www.bookcoachjd.com, JD for Jeremy Dysock, and you'll book a consult with me directly to be your credit life coach. Otherwise, just go to the link in the description section of this live. All right, we're going to get back to it. Tonight, it's going to be questions and answers. Ask the credit life coach. So any questions you got, hey, Michael, good to see you. You need help? Yeah, definitely then take advantage of my schedule link, www.bookcoachjd.com. So we're going to do questions and answers that you have about credit. It can be anything about interest. It can be anything about credit repair. It can be about the investigation process, anything. Let's start off with Brittany. I just donated a car I owe money on. Haven't drove or made a payment in 2 years. Can I get it off my credit? Shows as a charge off every month. Yeah, Brittany, you can get it off your credit. The way that you would approach this is going to be through the investigation process, okay? What you want to do is you're going to send letters, old school, snail mail, whatever you want to call them, paper letters to the credit bureaus, to Equifax, to Experian, and to TransUnion, the bureaus that this automotive loan, this charge off is reporting to. In these letters, you're going to want to verify some different aspects of the charged off account. It could be the balance. That's a good one on charged off automobiles. It could be the date of last activity. It could be as simple as the account number. But you're going to want to mail these off. Type them up, unless you don't have the ability to, then you can handwrite them. But type them up. There's nothing fancy needed. Put them in a regular envelope, slap a stamp on it. Don't have to do certified or anything expensive. And just mail those off to the three bureaus. The bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, they will receive those investigation letters. And they legally have 5 business days to notify the creditors that they must provide verification, validation, and documentation that everything on the report, as reported, is 100% accurate and factual and current and correct and verifiable today, not back when they reported it, not every month where they're just saying charge off, but today. Now, those creditors, they've got 30 calendar days to respond back to the bureaus, back to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion with the verification of those aspects. Now, if they fail to respond in 30 days or less, if they fail to respond at all, or if what they respond with, Brittany, doesn't satisfy the specific nature of what you asked, that information is then deemed unverifiable, and that account is permanently deleted, gone from your credit report like it never happened. It doesn't mean debt's gone, though. Debt and credit are two different things. So if you still owe money, you still owe money, and that's something you may want to work out. But their ability to report to the world's largest repository of unverified data, the credit bureaus, that ability goes away, and that's super powerful. One, it's standing in your way of achieving things. Two, if you do decide to settle on that debt, you've taken and given yourself a really strong negotiation position because they're no longer holding your credit hostage. They're no longer able to force you to have to pay more to get that removed or to have that not be a factor anymore. So that's how you do that. That's what you're going to want to do. And they won't be able to report anymore. All right, Lori asks, how can I get my score from 740 to the 800s? Couple of different things in that. Okay. Number one, it's impossible to tell with what you asked me, just on a blanket, because it's kind of impossible to tell without doing a credit audit and looking at your credit profile, seeing what's there, age of credit, balance to limit ratios, and things like that. But I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks that should get you there. Number one, balance to limit ratios on revolving accounts or credit cards. You're going to want to maintain a 1 to 3% balance to limit ratio. That means 1 to 3% of the limit usage every month, 1 to 3% of the limit average daily balance every month, and 1 to 3% of the limit payment every month. And you're going to want a perfect payment history there. You're going to want to have some installment loans going with good payment histories. And to get to 800, the rule of thumb is that it generally takes 5 to 7 credit cards with perfect histories. You also want to have installment loans with perfect histories. But the only other thing I could tell you, the only other thing you're going to need is some time. Age of credit is going to be essential in getting to 800. You can do it. You absolutely can do it. Just maintain best practices. Maintain best practices on your installment debt. Maintain best practices on balance to limit ratio with your credit cards or revolving accounts. Make sure you've got a good blend of accounts. You've got retail, you've got installment, you've got revolving accounts. Maybe you have mortgage, that sort of thing. Maybe even student loan that is an active repayment. One type is good, two types is better, three types is better. Basically, the more you can demonstrate the ability and willingness to repay in a timely fashion, and the more of a history of that you can demonstrate, and the broader history of that you can demonstrate, the higher your point potential and the higher your FICO score will be. All right. Good question. Cruz says, I tried getting a hold of y'all. You never called me. That's not good. Cruz, if you want, you can actually, without having to be called, you can use my my direct booking link at www.bookcoachjd.com or in the description section of this video, and you can actually pick your own time. You don't even have to talk to me before the consult if you don't want to, but it'll get you on the calendar, and then you've got a set time scheduled and everything's good to go, and we will get a hold of you. Michael says, for sure, do you file disputes to the credit bureaus? Yes, you do, but I use the terms kind of differently. There's dispute and there's investigate. Disputing is essentially saying, this is not right, this is not mine. Investigating is saying, look, I've got a legal right under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, to make sure everything's accurate and factual and current and verifiable upon demand. And guess what, guys? I'm demanding it. I'm demanding you investigate the validity, the veracity, and the ability of this data to be verified, validated, and documented, and I demand deletion if it's not found to be so. And yes, you send those out to the bureaus for sure. 740 would be doing big cartwheels. Well, keep listening and get practicing at your cartwheels, Michael. Do we file the disputes or are we? Oh, if you hire us, we do the investigations, the disputes, all that for you. It's pretty much autopilot. It's kind of like anything. If you hire someone to do your oil change, you don't have to rip the filter out or you don't have to hold the pan for the oil. They handle everything. Same thing with us. The things you're going to want to do is obviously stay active in the coaching, maintain the right balance to limit ratios, and communicate. That's going to be huge. Good question. Thanks, Tiffany. Also, payment history. Can you delete it, Cruz? Anything can be deleted. Anything on credit can be deleted. Basically, it comes down to the ability of that third party to be able to verify and validate. Now, payment history specifically, there's two outcomes. There's three outcomes in investigation. One is it could stay there, but the two main dispositions are deleted or repaired. Okay. If an account's deleted, it's gone. The history's gone. The account's gone. The badness is gone. If it's repaired, the account doesn't go away, but the negative marks on it do. So essentially, it's flipping it. It's taking a negative account and flipping it into a positive account. That's the holy grail of credit repair. It takes something that's costing you points and turns it into something that's adding points to your score. And yes, it can be done. You have to be very specific in the verbiage, in the wording for the disposition that you're looking for. If minimum payment is $200 and I pay, I've got 15 days before the due date, and the other half 3 days before, does it reflect as two payments? No, it reflects as yeah, it reflects as two payments to them, but with your credit, it's only one. And does it help boost your score? No. There are people out there who are like, oh yeah, pay in 19 payments. That's no, just pay it when it's due. Pay it when it's due. They're only going to report once a month. And when they report is on your billing cycle close date. So no matter what you do up to that point, it's not going to make a difference. That's okay. I knew what you meant with, unless you want to punt the money across the room, you can do that too, I suppose. Lori says, oh boy, these are fun. Parent Plus, I got 7 kids. Lori, I feel you. Parent Plus loans about to hit in 2021, about 100 G's. Will they hurt my house buying power? They'll impact it. They will affect it. You're probably going to have to show that the kids are in a history of repayment. They'll likely use a percentage of them, like usually 1%, as an estimated payment against your debt to income ratio. Um, you may end up with a manual underwriting. They can impact it, but it won't necessarily stop. It's not going to stop you from buying a house. If you got these days, man, if you got a kid in their 20s and they went to college, you got a Parent Plus loan. It just, I swear to God, the financial aid offices at the colleges, I don't know if nobody's just ever taught these people math, but with my daughters, they specifically always ended up $5,000 short. Didn't matter which school, which kid, every semester, trimester, quarter, whatever it's called, that financial aid office would end up 5 grand short. And yeah, I don't know if they can't add. It's like, hey, here's how much the classes cost. Okay, we'll put in for, no, there's 5 grand. So I end up with all these Parent Plus loans. And for those of you who don't know what a Parent Plus loan, it's where the parent is essentially signing for the kid. And if your kid doesn't pay, you're on the hook. So yeah, they're going to count against you because you're a co-maker or a co-signer on the loan. You have equal responsibility. You get equal credit when it's paid on time, and that's good for you, but you've got equal responsibility for the liability. So it will count. It won't knock you out of the race, if that makes any sense, Lori. Oh, you got one. You got it easy. Look at you. But dang, they got some loans going, don't they? I'd like to schedule a consultation with you. If you want to schedule a consult with me, go to www.bookcoachjd.com. Pick a day, an evening, even a Saturday morning that works for you. We'll take about, I always set aside 45 minutes for you. And, we don't need the whole time, or we'll use it, or we will use the whole time. And we will go over what's on your credit. That's the first thing. I'm going to ask you this. And anyone who's had a consultation with me will tell you, yes, this is what Jeremy asked. What's going on with your credit? What are your goals? And what prompted you to reach out? Those are the first 3 things I need to know. And then we'll talk about that and we'll figure out what's going on. And I'll start to formulate a plan, steps, services, action items to get your score and profile in position for all your goals, not just the short-term stuff, the long-term stuff, and just thinking down the road. But yeah, if you want to schedule a consultation with me, use the link that's in the description of this live or go to www.book, B-O-O-K, coach, C-O-A-C-H, JD.com, bookcoachjd.com. And you can have FICO certified credit coach Jeremy Dysak as your personal credit coach. Unless you think I'm a jerk, then you want to just go to creditlifevip.com. Then you get someone else. All right. Jeanette says, I want to make sure, yeah, I answered your question, Larry. Okay, Jeanette says, I have a $5,000 credit limit on a credit card. How much can I use before it affects my credit score? Well, every dollar you use, kind of in one shape or way or form, affect. Well, okay, not every dollar. Basically, under 1% is not considered activity utilization. You need activity to generate points. The optimum utilization, the optimum balance to limit ratio for in the FICO algorithm, in the math formula, the special sauce recipe that makes your score, the optimum utilization for every credit card is 1% to 3%. 1% to 3%, no more, no less. Any less you broke it, any more you broke it. Any less you broke it, because less than 1% is not considered activity, and you need activity to generate points. Anymore, you broke it because you went outside the perfect optimization. You didn't listen to me. And I do know. I really do. So we know this. We can use this. Okay. What you do is you find on that $5,000 limit card, you find something between 50 and 150 bucks a month that you pay regularly. Maybe it's your cell phone bill, maybe it's an insurance thing, maybe it's whatever, it's some bill you pay every month. Go ahead and put that on the card to have it auto pay automatically every month. Then you want to go and you want to set your checking account, your savings account, whichever you have, up to automatically pay the money, the card when it's due. Don't get fancy, just pay it when it's due. Money goes on, money gets paid. Money goes on, money gets paid. What do? You kick back, you relax. Something you were buying anyway gets bought, and you maximize your point potential in the FICO algorithm. Then what do you do with the card? Leave the damn thing at home. It's too tempting to use. It's too easy to justify using that thing. And there is no emergency on earth that that credit card will solve that can't wait for you to call the credit card company, get your number, and hand it to the tow truck driver or the airplane attendant or the gas station to enter manually. That's what you do. All right. If the account, Tiffany, if the account's been on my report for over 7 years, do I leave it or do I pay it? I'll tell you what, this goes to data first delinquency for an account. Now, if it's a positive account and it's closed, they actually stay on for 10 years. Just leave it. It's helping you. But if it's a negative account or it's a negative account that's closed, it stays on your credit for up to 7 years and 180 days. So 7 years and 180 days from the date of first delinquency. So that's the date it first went bad. Okay. Why the 180? The 180 days? Back in the day, the credit bureaus, they kept your credit information on these little index cards in a card catalog kind of thing. So the 180 days was to give them time to actually physically manually go and remove that from the card catalog. Obviously, fast forward to now, it's done with computers, but sometimes they still take the time. So do you leave it or pay it? That would depend on your goals. That would depend on the statute of limitations in your state. There's a lot of stuff it would depend upon. It's impossible to tell without looking at a credit report and without knowing your goals. Lori says, I had a 10-year-old credit card taken off my credit like a dummy. Can I get it put back on? No, it's done. I mean, you can call them and ask them to put it back on, and they may, but usually it's done. I just rule of thumb is it's done. But if it's like really legit, it's open and active, things are good, you don't have bad payment on it, then I would probably reach out to them and see what you can do. Can you help build business credit, Jen? Yes, I can. I actually have at Credit Life, we have at Credit Life, a business credit development program. But I'll tell you, business credit is a whole different beast. So the idea behind business credit is this. Most people end up being a personal guarantor for their business, meaning the business is relying on your credit. Okay, you're here, business is here, and they're both relying on your credit for decision making. That means if something bad happens to you, your credit gets screwed and the business can't operate. If something bad happens to the business, your credit is screwed and you can't finance. So the idea behind business credit is to stovepipe the two things, put a wall between. So your business is here, your personal credit is here. Business is dependent on business credit, personal is dependent upon personal credit. That way, if you have to torpedo the business, you're still fine. If something happens to you, you get injured, you can't work for a while, it's okay, the business can still earn. We do have a program, a business credit development program. That's something that to get into it is a little bit more complicated. It's kind of a whole separate whole separate animal. But yeah, I am one of the business credit like entry coaches. So if you want to do something like that, book a consult up with me because it takes a separate time. Book a consult with me, bookcoachjd.com or in the link there. But yeah, it's cool. Business credit's fun. We got a guarantee with it too. We'll get you to $50,000 in revolving credit entirely in the business name, or we continue to work for free for you until you got it. So you get what you're after, or you get what you're after. But that's not where we stop. That's just the guaranteed part. But after that, after 50,000, businesses are different. Some people may need hair salon supplies. Some people may have a restaurant and need supplies there. Some people may need vendor credit or leasing. Some people may need receivables factoring. So it does split off from there. It's not that we stop working with you guys, it just differentiates. But yeah, I would definitely schedule a consultation for that. That's for sure. All right, Tiffany says, how accurate is Credit Karma? It isn't. Do you have to pay to find out what's on what your true credit score is? Not exactly. And trying to be in a better position to obtain a VA loan. Cool. All right, now I'm going to go into a little more detail on what I just said. So, how accurate is Credit Karma? Credit Karma only gives you part of two of the bureaus, so it's not even all three bureaus. The scoring application, the scoring model that's used with it is Vantage scores. Vantage scores are used by less than 3% of lending institutions in the United States. 95% use FICO. So when you go for the house, for example, they're not going to use what's on Credit Karma. And Vantage to FICO isn't apples to oranges. It's like watermelons to fire trucks. They're totally different. Okay, so how accurate is it? That's number one. Number two, Credit Karma's clickbait. It is those recommendations that they have for you. Hey, we recommend this based on your credit. They're not recommendations, they're advertisements, and they have nothing to do with whether or not you're going to get approved. Good approval odds? No, they're not. They're not good approval odds. It's clickbait. They get money every time you apply for one of those things. So they give you lots of notifications. We noticed a change. Hey, things are different. Hey, quick, come over here. Hey, look, 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 look. They want you to go there every day so you have more opportunities to click on things so they can make more money. Do you have to pay to find out what's on your true credit score? The only way to find out your true FICO score, your actual lending score, is to apply for credit. The downside to that is applying for credit costs you 5 to 15 points off your score for every inquiry. So it's a catch 22. If you really want your lending score, you got to do something like apply for a mortgage, and then you'll see it. But that costs you points to do. So it doesn't cost you money directly, but it does cost you money and opportunity. You know what I mean? Interest rates will be higher. Maybe insurance rates will be higher because they use credit. And let's see what else. Trying to be in a better position to obtain a VA loan. VA, best loan you can get. It is a bucket of awesome. Am I free after the live show for a consultation? I'm actually not. I have to get the kids to bed. But I grab it from my calendar, and if you do schedule with me and you're like, wow, I really want something sooner, send me a message or send me an email or send me something and let me know. And I'll see if I've got anything I can manually shift you to. I keep some spots open manually throughout the week, mostly for current clients. They're gonna always come first. But to get you faster if you need. All right. Is CreditWise more accurate? It's more accurate in the data. As far as credit monitoring services you can get, we recommend Smart Credit. In fact, I'm going to give you the link. We got a discount link to it. That's different than just going to smartcredit.com. It's www.smart. I got the caps lock on creditvip.com. Why do you use that link instead of the other link? Because it'll save you $8. It'll be $21.99 a month instead of $29.99. But what's cool about Smart Credit? Smart Credit, yes, it lets you get a 3 bureau credit report each and every month. Equifax, Experian, TransUnion is a tri-merge. It's merged together. It's real easy to read. It's very understandable. It's the one that we require if you work with Credit Life. The reason we require that one is the scores are garbage, by the way. Scores on all these is Vantage. Like that in an origami class, they'll let you make a swan out of that page of your credit report. But the data they give you, particularly the data to do direct to creditor challenges, meaning sending stuff directly to the collection companies and things like that. So, for example, there's a Midland collection, right? and we want to investigate it. We're going to send a letter of investigation to Equifax, to Experian, and the TransUnion. But at the same time, you're going to have the information that you need to go directly to Midland too, with what's known as a 609 or a validation letter. So you're pounding these guys from every direction. That's one of the reasons I really like it. I find it to be a very high quality, solid thing. All right. The MD start. Oh, yep. I'll shoot you back. Perfect. Thanks, Cruz. All right. And then Rita says, I did the flood letters and nothing changed. What did I do wrong? I don't know. I'd have to look at your credit to know that for sure. But here's what I want you to do: use the same investigation letters and ask about different things than were there the first time. If you asked about the account number, ask about the date of last activity. If you asked about the balance, ask about the address they have on file for you. You can ask about account number, address on file, date of last activity, date of first delinquency, balance. There's all kinds of stuff. Send another letter. I tell you what, here's the deal. I always, on every round of investigations, expect every creditor to verify and validate and document, especially if they think they got skin in the game or money to be made. I expect that, and I'm happy with every deletion. Okay? Nobody can predict the ability of a third party being able, willing, or timely enough to verify and validate and document that everything's accurate and factual and current and correct and verifiable today within that fashion. So sometimes it will take multiple. I always say it's like we didn't get it into credit trouble overnight. It takes a little bit to get out of it. So I want you to use them. You still have powerful tools, and you can use those same tools. Just change up what you're asking about a little bit and hit them again. Go, hey, thanks for the response. That was so neat. Didn't change anything, jerks. Now I want you to check this out. And you can literally there are like 27 different aspects of every account that could be verified, validated, and investigated. They correspond with 27 different dispute codes. You could legitimately send them 27 rounds of investigation and never ask the same question twice. Now, you wouldn't want to do that because that's psychotic and it would take you 4.5 years. But the idea is you can change it up and keep hitting them, and they do have a responsibility. As long as you're not asking the same thing over and over again, they do have a responsibility to verify as demanded. All right. Amanda says, if I received a 1099-C, I filed it with my taxes. Do I still need to contact the creditor to settle payment once? No, no, no. If they wrote it off and called it income, it's written off. That's a legit write-off. That's different than charge-off. Charge-off is legitimately where they go, hey, this isn't an active account that we've got going through our billing department anymore. We charged it off. Let's sell it to a collection company, or let's send it to internal collections. A write-off, totally different. They just said we can't collect this damn thing ever. We're not even going to try. So yeah, you're done. If you're done, the only thing you want to do is you want to investigate. But if it's been removed, it's done. Hey, there you go, Rita. Tiffany says, with sending those letters, typically how long before people start seeing a rise in their score? Well, the letters themselves, a round of investigations takes 45 days. So expect 30 to 45 days for the results of the letter. Now, if you're working with Credit Life, if you're working with me, we're already working on, though, even while we're sending that out, you and me, we're working on credit development and stuff like that. So, I mean, you're going to start seeing stuff the day you start making changes in how you utilize credit. Good questions. I love these questions, you guys. You're doing awesome. Man, oh, I thought so. Want to confirm? Yeah, rock and roll. You're good to go. Perfect. What other questions do you guys have? Let's see. Oh my God, that was a half hour. That went fast. So can I get a coach session with you? So I can examine? Yeah, absolutely. If you got a copy of your credit, I have no problem taking a peek at it for you. I'll do that for you, Rita. Do me a favor though, reach out to me and like because I'm going to set it up as sort of a separate thing. Yeah, your credit. Yeah, yeah. First of all the things to examine, yeah, we're just gonna do your credit. Um, that could have just gone sideways on me. So yeah, just do me a favor. I'm gonna authorize direct messaging me. We don't let that happen in the free credit repair advice group, but in your circumstances, yeah, when you do the stuff and you didn't have a single one, you and I can at least just wrap real quick, and maybe I can get you on the right track. Tiffany said, just got approved for $1,000 secured card. Boom. What amount shouldn't I go over? $30. 1 to 3%. You want to spend between 10 and 30 a month. So your Netflix, your credit monitoring, if you got credit monitoring at Smart Credit, it's $22 a month, something like that. You want to put that on there and then pay it off when it's done. Yeah, I will for sure, Cruz. Thanks. I hope that helped, Tiffany. The consultation, there's no cost for the consultation. The idea behind it is to see if you are a fit for the Credit Life program, for the Credit Life VIP program. So the purpose of it is that you're looking to hire, ideally, potentially a professional to help you, and it's to evaluate if this is right for you, and you ask around in the group. I'm gonna be the first person to say you don't need it, just do this, or holy mackerel, you hit the wall, thank God you called us, or anything in between. Then the services themselves, they cost the same. We have the VIP program. It's pretty much consistent, solid. Yeah, you bet, Rita. I don't want to see someone who got the credit flood, went through, did all the steps, followed it, was diligent, and then nothing happened. I have literally no problem talking to you about it. It's not going to be like hours, but we'll do something real quick. We'll make sure you got the pieces in place you need for the next round, because I would feel bad otherwise. All right, I'm going to put out one more plug. If you would like to have a professional FICO certified credit coach, if you'd like to have me for some odd reason, my name is Jeremy Dysock, and just go to www.bookcoachjd.com and pick a day, an evening, or a weekend. You're going to be going right to my calendar, guys. Just pick a day, evening, a Saturday morning that works for you. We'll do a consultation, an initial consult. We'll talk about your goals, talk about what caused you to reach out. We'll talk about what's going on with your credit, and then kind of put together a plan. What are we going to do? Action items, services we can use to get your score and profile in position to qualify for all the goals you've got. So if you want to book that consult with me, www.bookcoachjd.com, or just click on the link. I think if you're on a cell phone, it's up there, and it's over there somewhere if you're on a computer. Just click on the link and book a time. I have a QVC credit card and never use it. Is that not smart? Yeah, you want to just use it. Buy something small. QVC is a retail card. Just go on there and buy something you would buy anyway, or something as a gift, and literally use it. Let the bill come, and you can pay it off. You can pay it in a couple of payments. The reason I'm saying that is, if you don't use it, they will close it, and you lose that available credit, and you lose the point potential, and your score will go down. Awesome. Yeah, Tiffany, I'll be happy to talk to you about that for sure. All right, guys, I am going to start to wrap it up. I did a Q&A because it's kind of a casual week. We got 4th of July coming up, which is cool, which is awesome. Remember, practice social distancing. Don't cough on each other. Don't lick doorknobs. And if you want a FICO certified credit coach, check out bookcoachjd.com. But no matter what you do, join us. Join us every weekday night here in the free credit repair advice group at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time for the daily credit report with FICO certified credit coaches every single night. And if you always want to watch me, I'm on Wednesdays. What I'm going to do is stick around, you guys. I'm going to close out the chat. Stick around. I'm going to open up a watch party. I'm going to put some solid videos, some of my solid lives in there, so that you've got legit stuff. I'm gonna put one on how to fix your credit from end to end. Maybe we'll do one on the scoring. I've got one for how to start your kids off on the right path. All kinds of good stuff. But we're going to I'm gonna wrap it up, just because we've been on 36 minutes. I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit, and I invite you all after this. Stay tuned. I'm gonna pin it in the announcements section, the watch party. But once again, I am FICO certified credit coach Jeremy Dysock. Thank you all for joining me tonight and joining me every Wednesday night. I booked for 2 weeks. Did the holiday in there, Tiffany? I'm off Friday, and I took like the whole weekend. So yeah, I tend to book. But I can always look and see if I can get you something sooner. Usually I offer those up. But yeah, stick around. I'm gonna do a watch party, and I want you all to have a happy, a healthy, and a safe 4th of July weekend. And I'll see you in the watch party in just a second. Bye-bye.